Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. I thought I'd make the video outside because this may be the last chance, maybe tomorrow, but today and tomorrow will be the last chance to do a decent video outside for the next few days because we're expecting heavy snow, very cold temperatures, and lots of wind. And that means that doing a video outside, even with a really good microphone, is not, I don't know, it's windy today. It may mess up the audio a little bit today. It's going to get cold. There's all sorts of serious weather warnings out there, and that the very center core of it, where it's really going to hit, is right here in the Missouri Ozarks. Arkansas is going to get some, Kansas, Oklahoma, a little bit on the east of us, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, but right here in the Missouri Ozarks is where it's at. The latest, and this is going to change until it gets right up to it, but the latest is now an average of 8 to 12 inches with possibility of upwards of 14 inches of snow here in the Ozarks, in different places. Wind chills could get as low as 20 to 30 below zero, 20 to 30, maybe even 40-mile-an-hour winds. With that blowing snow and the cold, so it's going to be quite miserable for this next week. So telling you better get ready for it. I've experienced this kind of stuff before, and it is not pleasant at all. And for you preppers out there and homestead folks, and just anyone watching this, be very careful when it comes to your personal health in those temperatures and that kind of weather. Frostbite, hypothermia is a very real threat and can happen very rapidly. So be careful when you're out and about, especially you homesteaders, because there's just things you have to do outside. You know, you have animals, you have to go feed and stuff. You can't just lock yourself in the house the whole time, so be careful. I know I've upset a lot of people in the last several weeks by the content that I make, but it's just what it is. I mean, I could just ignore it and then just make content, talking about all the great, wonderful things that's happening, because there are, and I've mentioned some of the good stuff that's happening. They're now saying that probably the next week or two, about 15,000 IRS employees, probably going to be losing their job. The total number right now is somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 275,000 federal employees that's lost their jobs, and it just keeps more of it. Now there's talk of potentially auditing Fort Knox to see if there's actually any gold there. It's been like 50 years the last time anyone cracked that open and looked at it officially. So there's talk of that. There's also talk of massive cuts and reductions and layoffs and stuff with the Pentagon. I am not opposed to these things. They sound really good, but there's other things going on. And as I pointed out this morning, I think one of the maybe not most dangerous, but more serious things is that we're watching our society accept deviancy, accept immorality. For the last 4 or 5 years, it's been shoved in our face, the trans agenda and all of this really deviant behavior, right? I don't have to go into detail. You know what I'm talking about, children and just all this. It's sickening, right? I mean, it makes you want to vomit. When we found out about these things, and they were pushing to normalize those things, and now there's this new wave, this golden era, right? And the golden era is saying that, that trans agenda, that kind of stuff, it's no more. The U.S. Army, the U.S. military issued a statement just this past week that they will no longer be allowing transgender people to join the ranks of the military. They're kicking them all out, and you're not allowed to be part of the military if you're transgender. They're not going to be providing any kind of reassignment surgeries. There's been a lot of talk, and apparently a lot of it's true, of the child trafficking stuff that's being kind of, sought out, and they're trying to apparently end a lot of that. Those things are great. And I have no complaint whatsoever, and it's all thumbs up to that kind of stuff. But I have told on here before many times that what I thought was happening was that they were trying to thrust upon us this very extreme, very, very, very extreme stuff, so that when we bounce back, we'll accept something else, right? And so we've seen what they want you to see, all that, what I just mentioned, transgender, child trafficking, all that kind of stuff. That's just, it's far, far out there. Like even people that are liberal are saying, wait a minute, that's you've gone too far. Right up until the kind of the end of the Biden administration and stuff, we started seeing people coming out that were, saying that, hey, I'm liberal or I'm gay or whatever, but this stuff is way too much. It's too far. You've taken it too far, right? So now things are changing. And they're trying to present it as a moral revolution, or a moral kind of a revival of morality and Christianity. Except it's not. It's false. It's false, folks. And that's what we have to be careful of. There are things just in the last few days, but really it's been going on for weeks now. This was something that I've talked about. I mean, you could go back when I was making videos when Trump was in office before. And I was pointing out things that, they're irregularities. They're things that don't add up, things that aren't right. And now we're seeing more of it. It's like, it's more of it. It's okay. Apparently, and this is the word on the street is that even conservative talk show host Glenn Beck now has kind of caved in when it comes to morality. And this video isn't to pick on him. I'm only saying this as an example. I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him. He's way, way, above my pay grade. But there's a certain conservative talk show host guy that's gay, and him and his husband are adopting a child. A lot of people would consider that purchasing. Glenn Beck supporting it. This whole thing between Elon Musk and his all the different baby mamas and stuff. Alex Jones has come out supporting it. This is great. This is great that Elon Musk is going around and with in vitro fertilization, getting all these different women pregnant because he's populating the world. This is great. This is good stuff. This is conservative, folks. You've got conservative, quotations. See that? Quotations. Conservative women online that are doing things that 20, 30 years ago would have been considered very, very immoral. Men too. And the point that I'm trying to get at, because I know some of you are saying, wait a minute, I thought this was a homesteading and prepping channel. What does this have to do with it? Let me get to that point. Because sometimes I like to take a whole trip around the barn just to get to the front door. What are we prepping for? The term prepping or homesteading or self-sufficient indicates that you're trying to protect or save something, right? Your life, your family, your community. You're trying to save it from what's happening, right? You're preparing for bad things to happen so that you can potentially survive it, right? Well, what are we protecting? What are we saving from all of this stuff if we're just saving just a different flavor of immorality, a debauchery light, okay? Yeah, it's not as bad as what we saw during the Biden administration, but it's still not acceptable. I mean, they're trying to make you think it's okay. They're trying to push it that it's okay, it's acceptable, but it's not. This kind of behavior that's being pushed while it's not as sickening as what we saw during the Biden administration, is no less immoral. It's sin is sin, folks. The Bible clearly states it's sin is sin. And this is what we're now. It's the only option, right? You know, you got the Republicans and Democrats. It's left versus right. There's nothing in between. There's nothing outside of that. It's this duality that's you either support Biden or you support Trump. And if you don't support Trump, then you must support Biden. And if you don't support Biden, then you must support Trump. I mean, that's what we're told, right? You have to support this. Oh, you're not a Trump supporter? Then you must be some crazy commie liberal, right? That is the psyop that has been pushed for a long, long time, and it's really starting to kind of come into focus. The internet has done a great job of helping with that. And so now we're being told that you have to accept these things because it's way better than this over here. And if you don't accept these, then you must be like this. And there's so many of us standing here like, wait a minute, I think they're both bad. I think they're both immoral. I think this is wrong. Oh no, this is a new golden age and era of morality and a new kind of Christianity that, you know, over here Christianity was bad. Like they didn't want Jesus or God or anything over here. But over here we accept it, but it's different. It's not what your grandparents, you know, believed and stuff. It's a different kind of, it's just love, right? It's just this, you know, kind of like the new age of Aquarius kind of thing. It's a new version because it's the golden era. It's this new, well, it's like a false truth is what it is. It's like a false peace. It's like a false word. And that's what we're seeing happen. I'm not on here to bash this sitting president, Donald Trump. I'm not saying anything that I don't know. I don't know how much involved he is in all this. I'm just saying that the narrative that is being pushed has shifted, but it's still the same. And I believe that's where it talks about those that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You know, the scripture and Jesus tells us that the deception will be so great that even if it were possible, the very elect could be deceived. And I've seen people online talking about that, and I'm like, yeah, but if you're a Christian, if you're saved, you're the elect. That's been an assumption, and I'm not here to debate the theology of that. I'm just telling you that, and I'm not here to judge either. I'm just going by Scripture. Scripture also tells us that the road is straight and narrow. Many scriptures indicate that it's very difficult and a very small chosen few will actually make it. And if that's true, then maybe all these people that consider themselves the elect or believers or Christians aren't quite as true as they think they are. Just because they wear a little Christian, you know, cross necklace doesn't mean that you're good to go. I'm not here to judge. I'm just telling you what scriptures say. And we, as believers, as preppers, and as people that are trying to protect, it can't just be our homes and our fortunes, however little that may be. It can't just be our you know, the physical family, our children in the physical sense. It can't just be, you know, that we feed them and stuff. There has to be, we have to be part of protecting the truth and protecting our souls and our family souls, because as I've said before, what we experiencing right now and have been for a while is spiritual warfare. All of this stuff that's going on, right? That's just physical manifestations of what's really happening kind of behind that veil in the spiritual world. This really is a battle between dark and light, good and evil, Jesus, Yeshua, and Satan. And we have to realize that this isn't just a left versus right thing. This isn't just the globalist versus the nationalists or whatever it is. It's way bigger than that. And even though maybe the original intention of this new change was to truly do good, if it didn't come from the right place, it can easily be perverted. And I think that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see a perversion of truth, perversion of good, perversion of the light. And I know this may be too deep for some of you. This may go over some of your heads. I'm not, it's what it is. But a lot of you are going to get it. We have to protect ourselves and our families and our loved ones and our communities from accepting this stuff as being the norm. Times change, but the Father's word never changes. His moral standard never changes. If you attach yourself to his moral compass, then your moral compass never wavers. The world's moral compass may change. The political parties and the social media and all that kind of stuff, that moral compass may change. Father's compass, his direction of where morality is, it never changes. And when you start to see things, compromises being made, and it's okay to now accept this, and this is now okay, you have to question: are they attaching their morality to God and His Word, or to a man? Because if it's to the Father and His Word, then it would never change, and there would be no compromise. And that's something that we need to be wary of. That's something that we need to be paying attention to and protecting ourselves, our thoughts, our children, our communities, our loved ones. Because just because a lot of things have gotten better and the morality seems to have shifted to a different direction, I don't think it's going the right direction still. It's just deviated a little bit. We need to be wary of that and aware of it. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order, to protect yourself and to prepare yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.